Spock's Brain. This is season 3, episode 1. We're going to talk about it using the space system that I've created. Story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score. Between 0 and 2, there's not going to be any 2s on this one. That's okay. I know this is season 3, the dreaded season 3 of Star Trek. I don't actually hate this episode. I think it's like okay. We're going to break it down. I'll give the storyline a 1. I actually thought there was a neat idea here. So Spock's brain is taken, not the idea of like the taking of the brain, but that, these people need a brain to power the facility. And once that brain dies, they need a replacement brain. The weirdness is where they get the knowledge. So this girl gets the knowledge to use a ship to get to the Enterprise. She teleports on, removes Spock's brain, gets back to where she is, puts the brain in the thing. And there's only a few hours you can do this in, as we learn later in the episode. And then the entire society is like split up. I don't think they thought this through. Like, what happens when babies are born? Where do they go? Do they, if they see it's a male child, they just throw it away or throw it up to the men and women are separate. It's just weird. They have technology. They have this teacher thing where you can put it on your head and then you learn all this stuff. And then McCoy learns how to put a brain back, which is like crazy. And then he's almost done the procedure and then he forgets because you only have a certain amount of time. So then he just wings it. Like I think season 3 in general, I've watched about 5 or 6 now, so we're doing these videos kind of late. I think there's a lot of cool ideas in season 3 where someone came up with a neat idea and then that's all they had. And they thought, well, it's a kind of a cool idea and the characters are there, so the rest will take care of itself. And it doesn't really work like that. It affects the pacing in this episode because I'm going to give that a 1 as well. Feels like there's a lot of just like nothing going on. They're walking around and you're not really learning any answers. Like you can immediately figure out it's like those who give pleasure and delight. It's like, or pain and delight or whatever. It's like, oh, the women. Like, I mean, it's just like in 2 seconds you can figure out what's going on. And then they animate Spock's body with like a remote control. They can like press fast forward, rewind, play, pause. They can move him around. I don't know. I just feel like you're just waiting for them to explain the obvious. That's sort of the problem with this one. So it affects the pacing because I'm not bored because I do like the characters, but you're just sitting around waiting for them. I actually thought the artistry was good on this, so I'm going to give it a 1.5. I do like the underground area with the colors and stuff above is that Arctic thing. That's kind of neat. They tried to separate, the costumes and make them kind of different. And everything looks good to me. I got some good ship stuff. It's the upgraded versions I'm watching. I like the computer setup. That's kind of neat. He's like a little computer thing, and then the lights go out this way, the tubes and everything. That's kind of cool. So I thought everything looked good in this one. For the characters, I'll give it a 1. I like the leads, of course. It feels like some of these like season 3 ones, it's like they're always sending the Dr. McCoy and Spock down. Like, I'm sorry, the Doctor, Spock, and Kirk, they get sent down like almost every time. And it's like, and there's been some episodes where you're like, well, shouldn't there be like security with them or something and whatever. But look, it's fine. I like the girls, the villains, and the giant hairy guys. They're not characters. They're just there to be there. So it's like usually with Star Trek, I love the characters, the real characters of Star Trek, like the leads of Star Trek, all of them. I love them all. So the character score usually gets based on how the side characters behave. Like, Space Seed, you had friggin' Khan, who's just like the damn best, right? Like he's awesome. Here you had a bunch of like, nothing burgers. They're just there to be there, pretty girls. It's like, okay. It's like, oh, I see their delight. I see the delights. It's like, yeah, but they just do nothing. So that's where I'm at with the characters. Enjoyment factor, I'll give it a 1. Like it's fine. I actually don't hate this episode. I think it's kind of neat for the ideas that it tried to do. It just didn't handle it very well. So I'm giving it a 5.5 out of 10. It's definitely a weaker one, but I don't think it's a horrendous nightmare. There's worse ones to come for me, big time. They're going to be coming up in the next, depending on when you're watching these videos, I'm trying to get one every day or so. So there's going to be one in a few days. They're going to be like, well, this one was not very good. But this one is okay. It's Spock's Brain. It's goofy, but neat idea. They try to execute it as well. I just think they filled in the idea. I think they had an idea. of a brain powering a civilization, and you know, the Morlocks and the Eloi. And then it's just like the reverse, though. It's like the nice ones are on the bottom, and this brain is powering it all. But they didn't really go further than that. Like, it should have explored it a little bit more. So that's where I'm at, 5.5. If you enjoy my space system, please like the video. Please consider subscribing. Check out my playlist. Check out Clobberin Times in the link below. He's my buddy who does Star Trek. He's a Star Trek expert. Him and his team do a Saturday night Star Trek show. They talk about 4 episodes every Saturday night, so check that out. Thank you for watching. Until next time.